This video is brought to you by Nebula. Hey everybody, welcome to Amy Nolte Music. Do you know what a tag is on the end of a song? Like if maybe you're in the key of C and you have a 2 chord and it's gonna, in a 5 chord and then you're gonna end the song, but you don't quite want to end the song yet, so instead you might go 2, 5, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, something like that. The sound is probably really familiar to you. I think the first time I heard it was on Count Basie, April in Paris, right? Right there, that part, let's actually listen to it one more once. I mean, I think they had the idea for the tag because it's actually written into April in Paris. Right here. And I think it's such a intriguing kind of a sound. It has I can think of a lot of different adjectives about that sound, but mostly what I think about it is that people get it when they hear it. I kind of think that one time I was singing with a pianist when I was, in high school or something, and they just threw a tag on the end of the song, and I knew what to do. It was like, oh, okay, I feel this. That means I'm going to have to sing the last line again. When Miles Davis recorded If I Were a Bell on the Relaxin' with the Miles Davis Quintet album, he decided to put many, many tags on the end of everybody's solos, which is really cool. And it works really nicely with If I Were a Bell. So the end of that song goes. And they decided to just keep going. And the soloist, I think the way they worked it was the soloist could do it as many times as they wanted to, but when they were ready to come out of it, they would just play. And then everybody would know, okay, we're done with the tags, we're gonna go back to the top of the song. And recently I was listening to a recording of Dizzy Gillespie on the Verve Phillips small group sessions of Chega de Saudade, or No More Blues by Jobim, that just blew my mind because of the way that it utilized this tag. You can call the tag 2536. I think most people call it a 3625. And you just say, we're going to throw a 3625 tag on the end of the song. And you could also say, we're going to do it over and over again. Watch for the cue, But what Dizzy Gillespie does is on this session, he actually, instead of letting every member of the band solo over the form of Chega de Saudade, instead, he has them solo over a tag just at the end of the form. And they go and go and go and go. And then somebody else's turn and they go and go and go. And they don't return to the head or to the beginning of the form. They just go and go and go on this 3625 tag. And it's like, I don't know, there are variations of 3625, right? So if I'm in the key of F, and I've got the 2 on If I Were a Bell, that's a dominant 2 or the 5 of 5, so G7 instead of a G minor to be the 2. And then C7 or C13. And then we could go A minor to D7. Let's try it again. Instead of doing the G7, we could go G minor. And then instead of doing A minor, we could do A half diminished, which I think is a little more common. D B7 maybe with an alteration. I put a flat 9 and a sharp 5 on it right there. And then around and around, you know, and the same kind of thing happened on this Dizzy Gillespie recording. But it's just, what I couldn't believe is that they just decided to make that the solo section, just the tags. You gotta listen to this recording. It's wild. And so cool to hear all the members of the band playing over a 3625 tag in so many different ways. Everybody adds their own thing to it, their own flair, their own personality, their own take. And it's so cool. There's so many different flavors you can bring to this little progression. I just wanted to take a stab at it today for myself and for you, I guess, just to hear like how many different ways you can approach this. I've actually written out a whole bunch of licks that fit this progression. And if you're signed up for Nebula, you can get the link when you go watch my video over on Nebula and be able to download that PDF. But for now, I'm just going to put on an exercise that I made on my iReal Pro. It just goes 2536, 2536, 2536. And I'll do some of those variations. I'll put the dominant 2 sometimes, the minor 2 sometimes, the 3 that is just minor, or the 3 that's half diminished. And we'll see how many different kinds of things I can tap into on this sneaky little slidey little progression that makes us all feel really good somehow when we hear it. At least I think it does. All right, let's do this. The PDF I mentioned earlier is available if you sign up for Nebula today. Nebula is my streaming service that I've built with many creators from YouTube. It's all educational content and it's all ad-free, so you don't have to listen to something like this. In fact, you can watch this same video on Nebula, but without my Nebula ad because you're already there. And you can watch a lot of bonus videos and extended cuts of my videos that are only on Nebula. My Brian Wilson Surfs Up documentary is only on Nebula. Also, the class that I made for Nebula on the Nebula classes part of the platform is so fun, and I'm so proud of it. It's how to create meaningful motifs without relying on scales and arpeggios. So the kinds of ideas that I played today for you, I wasn't just going, but I was actually thinking of strong ideas. Things like that. Ideas that grow organically from inside of you. That's the kind of stuff that I teach in my Nebula class. I've got a second Nebula class as well with Adam Neely where we just play the blues for an hour and have a great time playing the blues in every style that we can think of. Adam Neely is also on Nebula. He has many extended cuts of his videos that go deeper than what you would normally see on YouTube. 12-tone is on Nebula. Polyphonic is on Nebula. Listening in is on Nebula. So many of the great music creators on YouTube are over on Nebula because it's a great platform and it's actually a really great way for us to make a little bit more money than we make doing YouTube. So supporting us on Nebula, it's a great thing. There are over 14,000 titles to choose from there on all subjects. You can just learn about all the little stuff your heart desires, I promise. Sign up using the code right here that you see on the screen or in the description or in the pinned comment, and you can get $2 off every month. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you next time on Amy Nolte Music.